There is a very deep, dark, and sinister deception that is brewing and about to be rolled out by the enemy. And it's going to be assisted by what I call New Age Christian mystics that would have you believe that human beings are the result of an ancient alien civilization that came to planet Earth, and we are the result of them mixing their DNA with other DNA or DNA from the animal kingdom. And I'm here to tell you that this is a lie. Remember, the enemy will always take a truth and he will just slightly twist it. You can be riding on a truth of, let's say, an 180 degree straight line, and all the enemy has to do is just lift that line. He just needs to alter that line to a slight 1, 2, or 3 degree, and it can send you on a completely different trajectory. This is how the enemy works. This is how deception works. And these New Age Christian mystics would refer you to Genesis chapter 1, right in the beginning. Don't you think it's very deceptive and clever of the enemy to get you to question the very beginning of the Bible? And they ride on the fact that the Hebrew language talks about, it uses incubation language when it says the Spirit of God, the Ruach, hovered or brooded over the face of the waters. And even further back, they will say in the beginning, Elohim, in the Hebrew, Elohim meaning plural. They say there, you see, that it's plural. It means multiple gods created humanity. But that completely ignores the Hebrew language that actually says Elohim grammatically. And I'm an English tutor, I'm an English teacher, so I understand the grammatical structure of the language. Elohim can grammatically mean plural while still referring to one true God. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to mean multiple gods. I know the late Dr. Heiser did great work on explaining the divine council, which is a council of gods that are ancillary to the supreme God, which is Yahweh, the God of gods, the Lord of lords. Okay, they completely ignore the Hebrew language that actually says Elohim can work as a singular, not a plural. The text itself is referring or is presenting one creator, not a committee of alien beings or a council of gods that created us. You were created by Yahweh, the God of gods, the supreme God. And I'm going to show you something powerful here, contrasting two scenes, the Genesis 1 scene and the Genesis 2 scene, and to show you the difference. Then they would move you to Genesis chapter 1 verse 2, where it says the Spirit was hovering. The Hebrew is the Ruach, was hovering, or more specifically brooding over the waters, because the Hebrew language here can carry the idea of hovering like a bird over its nest, and they try to reinterpret this as some kind of, spacecraft or an ancient angelic technology that came to Earth, brooded over the waters. There was an incubation process, and they sort of brought the Earth from a state of tohu bohu, in the Hebrew, formless and void, a wasteland, and they recreated the planet, and they eventually created human beings, mixing their DNA with ours. Now, I've said in previous videos, I believe you can present a strong biblical argument for the fact that there were ancient physical angelic civilizations that were affected by the first incursion. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it is the case that a third of the angels fell with Lucifer. That's the first incursion. I believe that there were angelic races, civilizations occupying other star systems in our universe. I believe the universe is infinite, and I believe it's constantly expanding. And these angelic races were affected by this incursion. That is why I believe these alien greys look a bit disproportional, with massive heads and elongated skulls and almond-shaped eyes. This to me is indication. It leaves the impression that these beings have suffered the incursion of Lucifer, and they are here. There's a human breeding program going on. You cannot deny it. The evidence is there. Follow the proper Christian ufologists. There is a breeding program, a very deep, dark, and sinister thing going on, and it's been going on for a long time. I'm going to share a short clip by an African shaman, a spiritual guru, who shows a picture of the classic Hollywood depiction of a grey alien, and he said this thing, he gives it a name, and he says this thing has been terrorizing African tribes for hundreds of years. So we cannot be dealing here with a genetically engineered, biological type of avatar in some American or deep state sort of laboratory going on here. This is a physical being that has been visiting our planet, cohabitating with humanity for we don't know how long, possibly back to the beginning, right back to the beginning of beginnings. So going back now to the New Age Christian guys, they are supporting this deception. And the reason why it is so concerning, and every Christian needs to Bible up, because what's going to happen when the evidence is presented, the evidence, and I'm going to show you another short clip by a very popular magician or mentalist, a Hebrew, a Jewish guy, which I love. I really love his work, but he's also now falling into this deception, and he's going to be part of propagating and promoting the deception. I'm talking about Uri Geller. And I'm going to show you a video very quickly, which is very concerning for me. The deception that is going to rock the very foundation of many believers is when they present the evidence and they say that there is foreign, extraterrestrial, alien DNA in human DNA. And when this dawned on me, I finally understood what this dark, sinister breeding program is all about. It is a deception of the enemy, because this might even sound further far-fetched for many of you, but there are alien human hybrids that are living among us, cohabitating with humanity. They look like us, they sound like us, but they are not us. They are the result of this breeding program. They carry alien or extraterrestrial DNA that is not human. And this is what the deception is. The evidence is going to be put in front of every believer, and that is why we cannot continue to buy the fact that this is just a spiritual thing. People are encountering demonic entities and they are just having a spiritual experience. No, it is physical. It is a real thing taking place. So the Hebrew context, the imagery is about the active presence and power of God bringing order, life, creation out of chaos, out of tohu bohu. So what is happening today is that modern UFO mythology is being projected backward into ancient scripture. And they are trying to remove God from the picture. They are trying to remove God from the equation and replace God with Elohim. Their interpretation, ancient gods, space gods that came from other star systems. Although I believe there are beings from other star systems, and I believe you can base it on a biblical argument. But I'm here to tell you that there is nothing in the passage about extraterrestrials, spaceships, or genetic engineering. You see, people are taking spiritual language, symbolic imagery and ancient Hebrew concepts, and they are filtering them through science fiction narratives. So if we take Genesis 1, Genesis 2, let's say for argument's sake, the Elohim is not God, God of gods, Yahweh. Let's say it is a divine council of extraterrestrial ancient aliens. If we compare it to Genesis 2, the scene changes, it becomes very intimate. I've done videos on this before. All of a sudden, Genesis 2 is about sonship. We find that man, Adam, is in the garden, in the house of God, and the scene changes. It looks like a completely different narrative, but God, the Spirit of God is revealing something very deep and profound here. All of a sudden, it becomes very intimate. And all of a sudden, the Hebrew wording changes from Elohim to Yahweh. So now, Genesis 1, it's Elohim dealing with tohu bohu, formless and void. Genesis chapter 2, all of a sudden it is Yahweh dealing with Adam. So now we see the picture of sonship, God dealing with his son in his house, in the garden of God. So even if Elohim in Genesis 1 is what they say it is, which I believe it is not, the Bible still reinforces the truth that we are created in the image of Yahweh, Genesis 2, sonship. So don't buy into the lie. Yes, there are hybrid beings living among us. Yes, there are extraterrestrial, physical, sentient beings, ancient angelic civilizations that were affected by the incursion, the first incursion, Lucifer's fall, and then the second incursion, the Watchers that descended on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they traded fallen angelic technology for the daughters of men. Yes, but this does not change the Bible that has stood the test of time. It does not alter or change anything. Look at this post that I saw. This is what's going to grab a lot of Christians that are not, they don't have a solid foundation in their faith and that are following sensationalism and not being rooted in the Word of God and allowing the Spirit to reveal the truth to them. Have a look at this. Trump's rumored alien files could destroy Christianity, beliefs pastors warn. Okay, so they're saying that what's going to be presented in the near future is going to destroy Christianity. And I'm here to tell you that is also a lie. I've just presented to you what the Bible actually says, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. And even if Genesis 1 is what they say it is, Genesis 2 still reinforces the truth that we are created in the image of Yahweh, not some ancient alien race. Even though they're going to present evidence and say, look, we found alien, foreign, extraterrestrial DNA in humans. Those are the hybrids. Those are the result of the sinister, dark, nefarious breeding program that has been taking place. And again, I refer you to the experts, L.A. Marzulli, Tamal Barino, these guys, if you want more information on that. Check this video out by Uri Geller, which is very concerning for me. Watch this.
Hi, my dear friends. Not everyone
Listen carefully to what he says.
has an implant.
He's promoting
in
the
their
deception.
brain. This is an MRI I did about a year and a half ago. Doctors freaked out. This item has been in my brain for over 70 years. With my encounter here in Israel when I was 6 years old. Remember I told you that I could be an alien? Or you could be aliens. Well, if you read my article, my posting, very carefully, you might understand why we are all aliens. Read it.
Hear that? We are all aliens. So the lie is here, guys. The deception is here. Listen to what he says. Let me read to you from his post. He says, the UFO files may reveal something far bigger than aliens. They may reveal the true story of humanity. Friends, I want you to prepare yourselves psychologically for what may be coming next. Hear what he says? Because I do not believe the future UFO or UAP disclosures that the Pentagon are in the process of releasing are simply about videos and sightings of advanced craft. Now listen carefully to what he says next. I believe they may ultimately force humanity to confront a terrifying and beautiful possibility that we may not be entirely from Earth. Now, before skeptics laugh, understand this. Scientists are already openly discussing panspermia, what he calls the theory that life itself may have arrived here via asteroids, comets, or cosmic debris. And if life came from elsewhere, then we are part of that cosmic lineage. Listen to the serpent language. We are part of that cosmic lineage. Lie. I refer you again to Genesis 2. If you feel Genesis 1 is shaky, which it's not, I refer you to Genesis 2. The scene changes, becomes more intimate. The wording changes from Elohim to Yahweh. And there is only one Yahweh, the God of gods, the Lord of lords. But here's the thing, humans are the anomaly. He goes on and he says, and if life came from elsewhere, we can be part of that cosmic lineage. Yet somehow we became dominant over the entire planet. We create art, technology, religion, civilizations, AI, and spacecraft. And unlike every other species, we also store information outside our genetics, creating what some scientists call the datome, which we pass on to future generations. Example, all our communications, art, scientific knowledge, and cultural artifacts. It's almost as if humanity was designed to evolve, listen to the language, Darwinism, through consciousness itself. Could that be accidental? Or were we guided, modified, seeded? That is pure serpent language. As much as I like this man, Uri Geller, you are propagating the deception of the enemy. So let's watch this video from this African guru. Listen carefully to what he says.
These creatures looked exactly like this. They are the type of alien creature that has been known and feared throughout Africa for generations. This creature is about 3 feet tall. It looks for all the world like a child who is on the last stages of dying of malnutrition. It looks exactly like this, and it has a strange smell, which once you smell it, you shall never forget it. This creature is known by the Zulu-speaking people of South Africa as a manti.
So there we see, like I said, these beings, physical beings, have been visiting and terrorizing African tribes for hundreds of years. So what are we dealing with? Is this just a spiritual entity like mainstream evangelical would have you believe? Or are we dealing with something real, something physical? Yes, it is the latter, something physical, something real. Obviously backed and inspired by an evil spirit, by Satan himself. But the deception is here, and the evidence is going to be presented. And the ultimate agenda here by the enemy is to remove God out of the equation and to say we are the result of a mixture of alien DNA with the beasts of the field. So it's actually pointing all the way back to Darwinism, but a far, far greater deception, because now it's not the fact that humans just randomly evolved from a cesspool soup of lava, but we now were visited, or advanced civilizations came to Earth. They hovered over the face of the waters. A spacecraft brooded or incubated over the waters and turned the chaos, the toho boho, into order. And then they took their DNA and they genetically modified what they found on Earth, or whatever the narrative would be. Don't buy the lie. Listen to me. You are created in the image of Yahweh, the Lord of Lords. You are God's greatest masterpiece. You are God's greatest masterpiece.